Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor and best-selling author, and we are here to talk about the stock market. Today was a day because I woke up to a text message that said that Microsoft is buying Activision for $68.7 billion. And that was just the first notification. Then I checked my DMs on Facebook and Instagram, and people are texting me and telling me, hey, this thing is going down. Then I get news alerts from CNBC, Yahoo Finance, and Washington Post, and it's a lot of really interesting things going on. So I want to answer a few questions from you guys. What happens if I own shares of Activision? What happens if I own shares of Microsoft? Is this deal even going to go down? What happens next? Which stock should I buy? And why do they even do this to begin with? So let's start from the very top. Y'all know that I own Microsoft. I've been owning Microsoft for quite some time. I have called Microsoft the original OG of tech companies. You know, you got your new Googles and your Facebooks, if you will. Microsoft is the original gangster in the technology space, which is why I own them. And I said I'm gonna keep them, I'm gonna hold them because they're gonna be here and they're not going nowhere. I also told y'all, and I even put this in a tweet, where I said when it comes to the metaverse, there are a lot of fringe companies that ain't doing so well right now, but a lot of fringe companies that are trying to get into the metaverse and do all this metaverse stuff. Walmart is one of those, not on the fringe, but one of those companies moving to the metaverse. I said in that tweet, along with Shopify and a few others, I like Microsoft for the metaverse play because they got Microsoft Teams, they got LinkedIn if you want to go into like metaverse sort of meetings if you want to do that, but they also had Xbox, they have gamings. Well, guess what? Activision is a gaming company. They create games like Call of Duty and a bunch of other stuff I don't play, but they do create that. And you are with this acquisition, assuming it is approved by the FTC, this kind of gives them a better leg in that space for the metaverse, but also for their own Xbox. This is what I talk about when I talk about cram sessions. I talk about that company stack, that vertical integration, where you are making the games and you have your own gaming system and you already make personal computers. So you are owning the rail in this sense where from beginning to end, basically, you are creating everything that you would need. You have better control. You have a better organization. In theory, you would have better organization by creating these types of platforms. Because now you don't have to say, oh, I create this amazing Xbox and it does all these great things, but now you don't have any great games to go on it. Or something happens with game manufacturers and game publishers and they don't want to put stuff on Xbox. For example, Google has somewhat of this issue where people just prefer when they put out new apps like Clubhouse was, they just put it on iPhone first. Well, now that you got your own publisher and one of the biggest publishers out there in Activision, you can have all types of exclusive stuff that you create on your own that goes directly to Xbox if you wanted to go that route. So there are a lot of possibilities. Here's the thing though. Number one, this is not supposed to go through until 2023. That's when the deal is supposed to be finalized. It does still have to go through the FTC. They are the ones that say yay or nay if they are okay with this particular deal. Some people says it's going to come under some scrutiny. Others say, hey, it's fine. That's up in the air. That's legal stuff. That ain't my field. From an investor perspective, I'm rolling with Microsoft in any case. But what happens if you own shares of Activision right now? Should you invest in shares of Activision? Right now, I would not try and chase this now that it's up, whatever it was up. This morning it was at 60, it started out at $66 or so, and then it jumped up to like 80 something dollars. And I wasn't going to chase it, so I can't tell you what the price is now, but I'll post it here. And then when I go and edit the video, I'll be like, oh, look. It's really high. So I don't know what the price of Activision is now, but I would not go and chase it. Could it continue to go higher? Yeah, it could. Could it continue to go lower? Yes, it could. But this is a mistake that investors tend to make, is where they'll jump after Activision because it's the one that jumped and Microsoft did not. This is normal. This is normal. It happened when we talked about Pinterest and PayPal, where they talked about those two companies merging, and Pinterest was up, PayPal dropped. And it didn't go through, and they both ended up dropping after that. But generally, when we talk about activisions, when we talk about acquisitions, usually a company that is acquiring the other company, their shares drop, while the company that's looking to get acquired or is going to get bought, those shares go up. That's just the way it goes. It's relatively predictable. In the long run, though, the acquiring company usually does best. But here's what you need to know if you already have Activision shares and what you want to do. Now, personally, personally for me, if I owned Activision, this is just me. If I already owned Activision and I made some money today, I'm out. If I made some good money in Activision, I'm just going to go and get out and take my profits and go somewhere else. If you are looking to buy Microsoft, you are more than willing to do so. Y'all know how I feel about Microsoft. Generally, though, what happens if you hold on to those shares, and there's nothing wrong with holding on to them if you want to, but this could happen between now and 2023. Okay, Microsoft is doing what is called an all-cash buy. So they pay. They got that much bread that they're just gonna pay it out in cash. So if you are to hold on to shares of Activision until the deal is finalized, assuming that it is, then one day you're gonna wake up and those shares are gonna disappear and you're gonna have more cash in your account. I don't know what that cash number is going to be. Okay, but so let's say if I had $100 worth of Activision stock, it is reasonable to say you'll wake up, that stock will not be in your portfolio, but your cash balance will be that much higher. That is how it works in an all cash buy. If it were a stock buy, saying, hey, we're going to buy X amount in stock and we're going to transfer some stuff that way, then you would have, let's say, 50 shares of Activision, and that would convert and be some shares of Microsoft. Usually it is not a 1-to-1 where I get 50 shares of Activision and then 50 shares of Microsoft. The reason why is because, one, the stock prices are different, right? Because then that'd be cheating, right? I get 50 shares of Activision at, $100 a share, and then now I get 50 shares of Microsoft at $300. That's automatic profit. So no, it's not going to be a 1-to-1. Great if it was, but it wouldn't be a 1-to-1. So there is some conversion there. But in this case, if you are to hold it, once this thing goes through, you'll likely just have more cash in your account because this is a cash buy. That is generally what happens. This also happened to LinkedIn back in 2016. LinkedIn, if you didn't know, is owned by Microsoft, which is why I talked about, the Microsoft Office platform, Microsoft Teams, and LinkedIn when it comes to the Metaverse. Because again, just like Facebook could have the Metaverse for whatever it is they're going to do with Instagram and all that kind of stuff, Microsoft could do the same thing from a corporate perspective with LinkedIn. I don't know if they have any plans, but they have the ability to do so. LinkedIn was once publicly traded, and when Microsoft bought them in 2016, that's what happened. You own shares of Microsoft, you own shares of LinkedIn, and then you just had some cash and you went on about your day. So that is how these things tend to work. So that's really it. So if you're long term, I'm rolling with Microsoft. I'm sticking with Microsoft. If you would have asked me this yesterday before I knew all this stuff, I was still going to roll with Microsoft. I was still sticking with Microsoft in either case. If you have shares of Activision, maybe I would put a stop loss, worst case scenario. So if it goes up more, great. If it comes down, then you probably made yourself a profit. But if I don't own shares of Activision, I'm probably not going to chase it and hope it goes to whatever heights, because it may not. And they're also, Activision does have some baggage in terms of their CEO and how things have been real gross over there. So everything is not done. We've seen these things not happen before, Pinterest and PayPal being one of those, but we'll see. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll go through. I think it is a boon for Microsoft to pull this off. Microsoft have been looking to buy something. Clearly, they wanted to buy TikTok. That didn't go through. They were trying to buy Discord. Y'all remember that video? That didn't go through. This one is the one that seems like it's actually going to go through, because the other two were attempts and rumors. This has been confirmed that they're going through with this. So it'll be real interesting to see how those things play out. I feel how I feel about Microsoft, and we'll see where it goes. But super interesting. Last thing I'll say here, this is the move that Netflix should have did. Because remember, Netflix was going into gaming. I told you how I felt, and they should have went into apparel, which they did do. But if you were going to buy something and go into gaming, Netflix, this was for you. This was for you. Just imagine you got your clothing, and then you got Netflix, and then you got like Netflix style video games is already something, right? But to have like the way they create content in a video format, you missed it. You missed it, Netflix. This could have been you. But I do think it's even better for Microsoft because Netflix still doesn't have a platform. Netflix doesn't make consoles or PCs or TVs like Microsoft does, minus the TV. All right, so that is it for me. Talking really fast because I got to get out of this room. My wife needs the room. But also wanted to get out here, give you my thoughts, try and post this a little bit earlier. And that's it for me. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. I know I've been telling y'all about REITs, but I don't get to pre-record these because we got to talk about things that are recent in terms of prices. So if nothing happens tomorrow, if nothing crazy happens tomorrow, I will try and get that REIT video out. It's going to happen this week. I also have a grade your portfolio episode that I want to do as well. So I'm trying to get those things out, but I got to cover the news, and it is breaking and shifting right before our feet and our eyes and all that kind of stuff. All right, that's it for me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.